Although trading has closed on December 26, 2024, we always start with our disclaimer, go over our calls, make our predictions. Let's do that. It's my trading plan for Friday, which is December 27th, 2024. Please remember my calls can be wrong. Trade at your own risk. I had personal business this afternoon. I have more personal business this evening. I'm recording this before futures open. I have not had much time to analyze things, but since we closed essentially unchanged, it shouldn't be too hard, because when we close unchanged, I just repeat my call from the previous day. Okay, look for the pattern with the early low. That's the pattern with the early low. Tends to be a rally day, high in the final hour. There's a high in the final hour. This high typically fulfills the rally, when instead we can't hold on to any of these intraday gains. It's a negative pattern, should lead to lower prices tomorrow, provided that's maintained at the open. Tomorrow's open can substitute for today's close, so if we open up here, it's the normal pattern. But for right now, that's a failure to hold on to the gains, a failure to hold on to yesterday's close despite making a new intraday high, which we couldn't beat in the afternoon. For hours, we couldn't beat that. Unless we take this high out early, ideally by gapping over it, that's a negative pattern. And even if we do take it out, we have further resistance at 60.59.18 and again at 60.61.47. I'd be happier if we didn't see those prices. We got an ultimate sell. We'll stop the afternoon. MEJT said this blip up was false, it didn't stick. Said this move down was false, that didn't stick either. The morning gave an ultimate sell signal. We printed the minimum target immediately. We printed the minimum target by 1 cent. So how common is it that we print the minimum target by 1 cent and never see it again? Well, the system's now over 22.5 years old, and it's happened once. So there's one time in 22.5 years we don't take out this low. And this could be time number 2, but I think the odds are against it. That low was 60.20.26. It's not a heck of a lot lower than we are now in terms of points, but it's another indication that this blip up over yesterday's high just couldn't hold on to it. And it's a negative pattern. Again, time doesn't run out till tomorrow's open. We open up here, all is forgiven, but for right now it's negative stuff, and this pattern doesn't close near the high. We had this Gann fan yesterday, starting from that high. I don't think that changes anything. We had this wave count. It could still be B. C doesn't have to stop right here. It could be an expanded flat. Doesn't change anything. We had measured from this low to this high to get this high. If instead of measuring from this high, we measure from this high, as far as I'm concerned, you're right there. I don't think this changes a thing. I just think it's more stalling at the top. Prior lows or resistance can't maintain the break into prior lows. I think we're going down. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. These ultimate targets don't have any specific time frame, but usually you don't have to wait long. Usually. Well, Friday's pattern has the early low regardless of how we open. Today's normally bullish pattern couldn't maintain its intraday gains and closed red. So if, in capital letters, if that's maintained at the open, it's a bearish pattern, should lead to lower prices printing regardless of how we close. Now, despite the bullish time period, the market's stalling at resistance, there are lower ultimate MEJT targets. While we may wait until the new year to begin a correction of size, I think there's a decent chance we're just not going to make it that long. Breadth is not good, and eventually this leads to a correction which is worth trading. We had a great call for a top here. When you close unchanged, the way I do stuff, it doesn't change a thing. So I'm sticking with the call. And if we just rally up to the upside, then I'm wrong. You can always be wrong. But so far, nothing has changed. And bullish time period or not, I think we're stalling at resistance and we're going to trade lower. And there's one target, but I don't see any reason for us to stop there. It's a pattern with the early low, and that's today's call.